The son of educators, I grew up in poverty. My dad was a fifth-grade teacher, a principal, and ultimately a superintendent. My mom was a frequent substitute teacher. However, her work wasn't frequent enough to lift us out of poverty. Besides, she had to cook and clean for the 3 kids she was raising. As a kid in a small, isolated village, I had no understanding of poverty. Everybody I knew was struggling to make a living, although I was too young to understand. I assumed this was the default position for everyone on Earth. We traveled infrequently, which left me poor and ignorant about the workings of the world. Now I understand. I overcame poverty by working hard and ultimately becoming a professor at a Research One institution. Fewer than 1 in 200 people with a PhD in the natural sciences become full professors. The work ethic I learned as a kid had me become a full professor before I turned 40. The pay was good, and my early life taught me how to live frugally. More than 2 decades into life as a professor, I made a terrible mistake. Unaware of the aerosol masking effect, the best-kept secret in climate science, I spent my hard-earned savings on an off-grid homestead in rural, southern New Mexico. This action had important consequences. First, leaving active service at the university left me with no legal support from the university. As a result, a coordinated defamation campaign led to horrible outcomes, including loss of trust from people who claimed to know me well. Family and friends fell for the defamation campaign, thereby costing me their support. My life partner of more than 35 years abandoned me and later divorced me. The results were many and unpleasant. Immersed in poverty yet again, I occasionally recall events of my childhood. Thus, this video. It snowed a lot in the village of Weippe, Idaho. Shoveling snow off the roofs of houses was a common practice. One year, the accumulated snow was higher than the roofs. The snow had to be thrown up off the roofs. Every winter, the accumulation of snow allowed me to create a storage facility. I dug a primitive cave in a mountain of snow adjacent to the family home. I then collected recyclable bottles, intending to turn them into the local grocery store. This would allow me access to more money than I'd ever had. I scavenged the village every weekend, thereby accumulating dozens of bottles. One weekend, as I was out collecting bottles, somebody discovered my stash of bottles. Had they stolen them, I would have been devastated. Instead of being stolen, something even worse happened. The bottles were crushed with a few rocks. Naturally, I was devastated. My hard work was destroyed in a few minutes by an uncaring person. Or people. I was so heartbroken that I didn't tell anyone what happened. I did not want to be viewed as weak. What do you know? This was a gas, to quote the Blondie song from September 1978. It turned out that the heart of glass was mine, shattered, along with those many beverage bottles. I try to remember that it can always be worse. That's why we have tomorrow.